Welcome to the World channel. My mission with this YouTube channel is to create a place, or rather even a few places, where anybody in the world and everybody in the world can feel part of society, can be included in society through a few different methods. And that includes myself, actually. I live in a country where I think it's about 80%, not exactly sure the number, but it's a very high percentage. I think it's up to about 80% of the population, especially the young population of people between 20 and 40 years old, have claimed that they had depression or anxiety at some point. Now, I don't know exactly how many of those people actually had anxiety and depression, have actually felt that way. But my mission, I hope that through this channel, I can solve that problem and create a place where everyone has a place to go to. Right? And not only for depressed people, not only for lonely people, for anybody in general that just wants to meet new people, talk to new people, and just to hang out. So I also wish to create what I call a world hangout, a place where anybody in the world can hang out, like normal young people do, just go somewhere and just hang out. So there was something that frustrated me. And I think every teenager, every young person has had that problem. Is sometimes before you become a full adult and are a real adult, where you're actually responsible for all your decisions. Everybody goes through a transition point where you're not a teenager, you're not a kid, but you're not an adult. Sometimes, for example, you'd want to take your girlfriend somewhere and you don't know where, or you want to talk to somebody about something and you don't have that person around. You've moved to a different country and you don't know anybody there. You've moved to a different city and you want to just meet new people, meet new friends. So I hope that with this channel and other things, other social applications, I can solve that problem. So a bit about me: I've actually been away from society for probably about 10 years. I actually just started the Instagram. I started my own Instagram account actually just this year, in 2022. And I'm actually in my 20s, right? So I am a bit of I'm kind of the odd one out, but I don't feel that way anymore. But for a long time, I did feel that way. There actually came a point in my life where I looked around me and I didn't know anybody. I had my family, my parents, which are great, but you need to have friendships, right? Like you need to have friends and girlfriends that you need to have relationships that aren't family, aren't your brother, aren't your sister, aren't your mom or your dad, right? And I looked around and I don't know if it's bad luck or it's actually a combination of things, but the friends that I had, they either already got married and had families of their own, or they were in a different country. So I actually didn't know anybody, not a single person that I could hang out with, right? So again, with this website or the YouTube channel and a few other websites that I'm creating, I'm hoping that if you're ever in that situation, you can reach out to the website and it'll help you solve that realistically, with real people, actual people that you can meet or talk to. And a lot of times that happens when you move to a different country. In my case, I've moved a lot. I've lost count of how many times I've been in an airplane, uh, over and beyond 50. I've entered and exited an airplane over and beyond 50 times. And I've never lived in a country for more than 8 years. Right now, the country that I'm living in, Canada, is, I've beat the record 8 years. All right, so when you're moving around that much, you don't, you kind of fall through the cracks sometimes. And even if you're not, again, even if you're not in that situation, you've got plenty of friends, you've got a lot of people that you know. Hey, what's wrong with meeting some more people? So again, I'm hoping to create a world society in a way. So wherever you are in the world, I'm hoping that through the channel you can find some. For dating, for talking, for friendship, for hanging out. Those, to socialize, right? And from my past experience, I was born in the past millennium. And I think that in the last decade of the millennium was the last, the people that were born in, the last people that were born in a golden age. I feel that the next millennium, starting from the year 2000, came a new generation of people that were already pretty much born with phones and technology. When I grew up, nobody had phones. I lived in a small rural town. Nobody had phones. If you wanted to, when we were kids, if you wanted to ask a girl out, if you wanted to date a girl, you actually had, the only way that you could do it was you actually had to go there and ask her out. Or what we would do is we'd get a messenger, get a friend to go over there and say, hey, do you like my friend? What do you think of him? And the girls would do the same. And I think that's great. Like, people that were born in this generation, in this new generation, they've never experienced that. And it's such a great thing. Now, I'm not saying, I'm obviously not against technology because I'm obviously recording a video. And in the past, I actually have another YouTube channel, which has been my main YouTube channel, called Old Crow's Classic Cars. But that channel is it's not really been a social thing. It's been more of a one-sided thing where all I do is just post videos of me working. So it's not really social. It's more of a. But technology can be a good thing. But today, if you use it, today technology has dominated people. And instead of technology working for you, most people are constantly working for technology. Now, like I said, it's not a bad thing. Technology is not a bad thing. It can be really helpful. So at the same time with this website, I hope to combine, I hope to create a website that combines old-fashioned meeting, talking face-to-face with people, and making that a lot easier than it used to be through technology. You couldn't even ask for a girl's number back then because she didn't have a number. You had to, if you wanted to kiss her, you had to kiss her right there and there. I was also brought up in a Latino society, and again, that's just something very good because Latino culture is just beautiful. It's very passionate, very fast-paced as well. The first time I actually kissed a girl, I was 12 years old. And that's great. It was, but today people have so many friends and so many followers, and social media has just become something so incredibly superficial and fake. And that's one of the reasons why I stayed away from it for so long, because it's not an easy game to play. It's not an easy lifestyle to live in. I'm sure at one point, years ago, I did, when Facebook was still a big thing, I did have quite a few followers, or friends, and just pretty much people that I didn't even know and didn't actually even care about me. And that kind of worried me, that like, it bothered me. It bothered me that I had such a fake, superficial, time-wasting thing in my life. But at the same time, today technology has actually helped me a lot. The last girl I met, I wouldn't have been able to meet her if it wasn't for Instagram, if it wasn't for a friend of a friend on Facebook or Instagram. So I've got a lot to thank technology as well. But at the same time, I don't want to be dragged into that world again where everything's just so fake. So ultimately, I'm also trying to combine, like I said, old-fashioned meeting, old-fashioned looking people in the eye. Today, nobody looks you in the eye anymore. And I know, like, I probably sound old, but at the same time, I'm still young, so I feel that people from the last decade of the millennium, the 90s, maybe the 80s as well, are kind of a lost generation, where we're in between generation. We're not as used to technology as the new generation, but we're still young, we're not old, right? We're not considered old. But we still had the experiences of an old millennium, of growing up. Like, I remember when my parents first bought a computer, was that huge box that you needed two people to carry,